A warm welcome to this eHedge Connects news update, in which eHedge wants to share exciting news for all developers and end users of pack-off systems, because eHedge has developed a brand new eHedge guideline on the hygienic design principles for pack-off systems for dry particulate materials in the food industry. And with us today is one of the members of the working group that developed this guideline. Her name is Edita Margas, and she represents Bühler in this group. Edita, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Rob. Nice to be here, and always a pleasure to be interviewed by you.
To what extent are pack-off systems considered to be still part of a food processing production line?
Oh, I think it's still a very big part of the food processing. So here we are talking, when I talk about pack-off system for the dry particular materials, the scope of the document is covering actually the equipment. So we still talk a lot about hygienic design of the equipment.
The document, what part of the process line exactly is covered?
The starting part is the hopper, where the material is filled in, going through different metering systems, weighing up to the filling head, and where the actually big package is filled in. And here we are talking about the industrial packaging, so business to business packaging, not the consumer packaging like small sachets or pouches. So we are talking about pack-off system for big bags or big containers, industrial containers.
The closer you get to the final packaging of the product, the more risky it becomes to introduce contaminations, right? Because they might end up in this packaging, in these containers.
Yes, that's correct. That's definitely a higher risk, and that's probably from two perspectives you can look at this. So first of all, there is not going to be any further processing. This is the last step really in the whole process. And the second, this is the point where very often the product is open to the environment. So if anything is in the environment, it can come to the product and contaminate the final product.
I guess it's quite important that your working group also consists of members from different levels of the food supply chain. Is that the case?
We have many members in our working group, and I think we have a very nice balance between the equipment suppliers and the food manufacturers and ingredients suppliers. So to name a few, we have contributors from Cargill, Danone, or for example DSM. From the equipment suppliers, then we have, for example, Hecht or JTech, and Bühler, of course, it's a contributor to this guideline.
Yes, we will include all the members of your working group in the description. Of course, credits where credits are due, because these people have been working on this guideline for how long now?
We have been actually developing this guideline for a while. It has been already 3 years since we started development of the guideline. It has been quite challenging for us. Also, that was the time of COVID, but also there were other aspects which proved challenging. For example, this risk ranking of the equipment, or maybe choosing the right level of the equipment, which before in eHedge documents we were not considered so much. But now it's coming more and more that we really differentiate between different levels of design, depends on the risks and hazards which that particular food is bringing, or the cleaning method is bringing, and the final application of the equipment.
Now, let's talk a bit about complexity. On the one hand side, there's always this golden rule, less is more, when it comes to hygienic design, because that contributes to a better cleanability. On the other hand, there must be quite some innovation going on in that area as well. How do you balance that out in the guideline?
There is definitely a lot of innovation, especially if we look into digitalization, where you can use a lot of sensors. But here also we have to look from the hygienic perspective. So reducing complexity, it's a number one rule which we would always apply. And of course, making it hygienic, making it more efficient as a process. And of course, digitalization would also bring a lot of benefits here. We would consider all of these together and produce the final outcome, produce the final recommendations. So yes, we would consider the traditional process steps, but of course we would also look into, for example, integration of sensors or sampling devices into the process. So we would look into both.
What if somebody is watching this and thinks, well, that is my area of expertise as well. I would like to contribute to the next update. How can they do that? What are their options?
There is a few options to get involved. Definitely, we can receive direct feedback about any aspects of the guideline. That would be very valuable for us to have short feedback. Another way is to get involved within the working group at a temporary basis. So you don't need to be a permanent member of the team. You can join us for a few meetings or for a duration of writing a new guideline. And that's an excellent contribution and excellent use of your expertise and our all expertise.
Thank you, Edita, for this interview and for this sneak preview into the contents and the scope and the relevance of this EHEC guideline document. Well, the last thing to do for me is to congratulate you on this milestone and allow me to invite all the viewers to do likewise in the comments.
Thank you very much for interviewing me, and definitely I'll have to pass all the congratulations to the whole team, because this is a teamwork and really the hard work of everyone volunteering and contributing to such a guideline.
And this guideline will shortly be available online on the EHEC website in the download section, where you will find all the EHEC guidelines free for download for all EHEC members. And if you're not an EHEC member yet, you can either pay for each guideline a piece, or even better, become an EHEC company member and gain free access to all these valuable guideline documents. Thank you very much again. See you next time.